Hello everybody and welcome in today's video. In today's video we are going to do something very interesting. We are going to try and predict when Bitcoin is going to bottom and at which levels Bitcoin is going to bottom, which can provide us with a unique buying opportunity where we eventually can see a reversal from, and we are going to do that with a kind of fractal with historical price action, because the price action that we are seeing right now with Bitcoin looks very similar, if we have a look at a lot of different indicators, to price action that we have seen before. And due to that price action that we have seen before, we can make an estimate and try to predict what is going to happen this time with the Bitcoin price. So guys, all about that in today's video. Before we jumping in Bitcoin, make sure to scroll below this video, smash up the like button. If you are new right here, make sure to subscribe to the channel, much appreciated, and don't forget to hit the bell icon. So guys, as we know in previous videos, I've already pointed out that the price action right here is looking very similar to the price action right here. And we had a lot of reasons for that, but I want to go over those reasons again today, just to show the significance of what we are actually seeing right here. Often patterns are repeating patterns, so we are seeing it more often, right? So let's start right now on the daily time frame. What we can see right here is, if we only have a look at the structure pattern wise, both scenarios were in a falling wedge formation, where we can see a declining resistance and a declining support. In the price action right now, we are seeing the same. We have a declining resistance, declining support. Recently, we have seen a death cross in Bitcoin. That means on the daily chart, the 50 daily moving average goes below the 200-day moving average. The 200-day is the yellow line. The 50-day is the blue line right here. As you can see, in the previous time right here, we got a death cross. And yeah, afterwards we see the price consolidate slightly further, but actually was quite close to a bottom, and then we reversed into this uptrend. Right now we are seeing a death cross as well right here. Price is slightly down, not too much, but yeah, quite similar, right? When we bring out the momentum indicators, guys, then we can also see a lot of similarities right here, and that is on the MACD, for example, recreating a bullish divergence. So during this price action, we were making lower lows, and in the MACD we were making higher lows. Right now we are doing the same thing. We are making higher lows right here on the MACD, which is a bullish divergence, quite significant on a daily time frame. When we have a look at Orion's belt or indicator down below, we can see it's also quite similar. We got a buy signal right here, but we got another drop eventually, another buy signal, and then we went into this uptrend. What we are seeing right now is we also got a buy signal right here, but yeah, it's still possible to make another low, of course, and afterwards see that bounce in the price. Also, when we have a look at the candles of this chart, then we can also see we started this consolidation with a huge wick to the downside, and what we are seeing right here in the price action is also that we had that wick, right? And the interesting thing, I think, right here is, if we were to measure the length of this consolidation period and we take the wick right here, so actually the first local bottom that we were setting right here, which in hindsight was also the horizontal bottom of this range, then that took approximately 63 days until we reversed back into that uptrend, so approximately 2 months. And when we have a look at the price action right now, and we were to measure from that first wick, and we were to measure like 62, 63 days, that would be in the first week of February, where we could be seeing the last drop or the last potential shakeout potentially in the Bitcoin price. Let me put that blue line right there on the 4th of February. That is an interesting level to watch, as we are seeing these time cycles also often being repeated. So for example, what we are seeing right here, and Bob Lucas, another trader, is talking about that is these time cycles. So for example, right here we got approximately 60 days from this bottom till this bottom, and if we were to measure the next from this bottom till the next bottom, then we can see 63 days. So what we can see is often these time cycles, they repeat themselves, right? So right now we also can use that for analysis. What else do I want to bring up? Yes, another thing I want to bring up are the funding rates, of course, which is very interesting. The funding rates right here during this consolidation period were negative, as you can see right here. The funding rates right now during this consolidation period were negative as well. And guys, I don't know if you remember the price action right here, but here on the channel, I was very confident right here that we were going to see that reversal. We actually predicted this last drop, this last shakeout, and then that reversal. You can go back in the historical videos that I've been posting, because during this whole formation we were very consistent that we are going to exit this formation in an uptrend. And I'm also very consistent in my videos right here that I expect Bitcoin to enter a uptrend right here. However, I don't think we are there yet. I think we are still somewhere here in this formation, which means that we still can see a drop in the Bitcoin price, one last shakeout, and I want to talk a little bit about that, also about the sentiment. But one thing I do remember actually, guys, and I've been going down, I've been going back into the BitMEX funding rates and had a look at the funding rates right here on the daily. And here, when we had that last shakeout, the majority of the traders were actually bearish on Bitcoin. They were thinking that most likely we are going to drop and break this support. That is what the majority of the traders were thinking out there. That was the sentiment, and that is also the sentiment we want to see at a bottom. We want to see that even the bulls are turning bearish, and what we are seeing right now is that there is still a lot of people, including me, who are optimistic right now during this price action. So that is actually a problem, because we want to come from a extreme reading. We want to come from a extreme reading, extreme panic, extreme fear, because that is most likely going to show us that was the bottom. And we haven't really seen that yet. I think there are still a lot of people out there that are bullish, despite Bitcoin being in a downtrend. So that's why there is a possibility, especially when we have a look at the price action, that we still in a downtrend, for Bitcoin to make another low somewhere right here. I'm going to show you the exact level, guys, which I'm watching based on the order book, and where Bitcoin is going to make a dip into the liquidity and basically going to confuse the bulls and turn the bulls bearish, the majority of the bulls bearish, and which eventually could mean the bottom. So that's why I also think we might not yet have seen the bottom. But yeah, okay, let's get rid of these moving averages right now, and let's go. I want to go to a different time frame review. Let's go to the 4-hour time frame. And what we can see in the 4-hour time frame also quite similar right here. If we bring out the MACD, if we have a look at the behavior of the MACD, then we can see that right here during this formation we also had a nice bullish divergence, but it took some time for Bitcoin till that divergence was actually expressed, and we still got another test of that support in the MACD. Right here we also seeing something similar, right? We got that bullish divergence right now, but yeah, it looks like we still could be coming down right here to test another time that support, similar like we did right here, and then eventually turn to the upside and going to this uptrend. But guys, one thing is important right here. It is important that a lot of open interest is being shaken out of the markets. A lot of long positions are being liquidated, so to say, so that really there is a general consensus in the sentiment that Bitcoin is bearish and that we are going to reach maybe that the consensus is that people think Bitcoin is going to go to 32,000 US dollars to 30,000 US dollars. But to get that reaction from the people, to get that last panic, something needs to happen in the Bitcoin price, right? And it either is going to be time, that it will take time for Bitcoin to lose the confidence in those investors from those bulls, right? Or it needs a extreme event where we can see a big wick or a big liquidation event happening in Bitcoin. And this is something I want everybody to be aware of. I'm going to point out the levels that I'm watching as well. But also I want to quickly mention, guys, that during this formation, at the end of the formation, the majority of the people were thinking that we are going to see such a liquidation event, so a huge drop to the downside, Bitcoin going to 20,000 US dollars. A lot of people were actually bearish on Bitcoin. We were one of the channels that were really bullish, really confident bullish, because there were so much signals that we could see. For example, the negative funding rates, that is a signal that I'm often using, which is so strong for a longer period of time. We haven't seen the funding rates going back up, and therefore I was quite confident that we were going to see a reversal right here and going to go in the uptrend, and that we are ending this correction right here. But I have the feeling that right now the sentiment is not that. The sentiment is bearish, don't get me wrong. I do think that the majority of the people are bearish, but I still think that there is quite some bullishness in the sentiment, which needs to be shaken out before actually setting that bottom, putting the panic in the people, and eventually reverse. So guys, what could we be seeing right here? Well, we could be seeing something similar, and we're going to point out a couple of scenarios right here, but we could be seeing something similar as we have seen right here. One thing I do want to point out is when we have a look at the order book, and that is something we are doing new right now in our analysis, right? We are looking at the live order book, and the opinions are a little bit divided on that. But what we can see right here is that there's a lot of orders stacking up between 38,000 and 40,000 US dollars. So I think that is going to be an important level. That's why I marked this level as green, as a green zone. That is between 38,000 and 40,000 US dollars. I think that is a very probable scenario for Bitcoin to bottom in this range. So to see something like this, where Bitcoin is going to go sideways and then slowly rolling over right here and eventually dip into this box, maybe in the first week of February, maybe around the 4th of February, with the extension of 2 days, for example, and maybe from there see that reversal and then climb into an uptrend. There is another scenario possible as well, and I'm also going to show you how we can recognize such a scenario. Another scenario would be because there are a lot of orders placed as well at 30,000 US dollars. We can see right here there's the big order at 30,000 US dollars. Of course, it doesn't mean that Bitcoin is going to reach that level. However, I do want to point out, due to the fact that the open interest is also still very high, there has to be some kind of event which is flushing that open interest down. So it either has to liquidate the longs that are open right now, or it either has to make the bulls closing their long positions because they are being convinced that Bitcoin is looking bearish, right? Either of them actually has to happen to see that flush in the open interest, and that is exactly the moment that you want to be looking for long positions, because that is going to be the last shakeout, also what we have seen right here. And I'm going to show you that as well right here. But another possibility would be, of course, that Bitcoin were to come down right here and to see a drop below this level of 38,000 US dollars and get a big liquidation cascade, where we are seeing a huge drop to 35,000 US dollars, or even as low as 30,000 US dollars. I don't think it is likely for Bitcoin to reach these levels. But yeah, it is definitely possible if we lose 38,000 decisively, or if we lose 40,500 on a daily time frame, I think chances significantly increase that we are going to see something like that, with a huge wick where a lot of traders are being liquidated to flush out that open interest. So that is a scenario that I'm watching. But guys, I think a lot of people were expecting that scenario right here as well. In the end, it never happened, right? So now a lot of people are talking about a flush of all the leverage positions that are built up, and that is possible. I also want to point it out right here because I do see the signals of high open interest and so on. I do understand it. That's why I think you have to be aware of it, but don't dismiss the possibility that we are going to get a dip right here in this liquidity between 38 and 40k, and then from there see that reversal. So guys, if you want to know when you should go long, or what is the sign, what is one of the first signals we want to see for the bullishness coming back to Bitcoin, well, for that we go to the 4-hour time frame right here, and I want to bring out a moving average, and that is the 200 or actually the 100 moving average on the 4-hour time frame. And what we can see right here is that the previous time we broke this moving average, it was one of the first moving average after the resistance, of course. When we broke that, we got that rally in the price of Bitcoin. So this is also going to be the level that I'm watching right now. This level is coming down over time, so it's a dynamic level right now at 43,300. I think if we can break above this level like we have seen right here, maybe get a back test, maybe that back test is going to be presenting us a nice buying opportunity, or the breakout, and then I think that could be the start of a nice rally in the Bitcoin price. The 100 moving average on the 4-hour time frame, as it was also a great indicator right here during this price action. So guys, this is basically what I'm watching. I think if we have a look at the price and time, we might still not be there yet. We might still need a last shakeout, jump into liquidity, and from there between 38,000 and 40,000 US dollars, grab the liquidity, see a quick reversal, or in a crazy event it is still possible to see the drop, to get a liquidation cascade where we are dropping below that support. And for that, if we were to drop below the support, you definitely want to be watching the levels 35,000 US dollars and 30,000 US dollars as the potential bottom for Bitcoin. But like I said, I don't think that is a necessary event that needs to happen. However, we do want to see sentiment change more and getting a little bit more bearish, maybe seeing a nice drop right here into the 38k levels, and from there see that reversal. What you want to be seeing at that exact bottom is you want to be seeing a very bearish sentiment. We want to be seeing negative funding rates, but a extreme reading negative funding rates, and we want to see a very quick recovery with a lot of volume coming into the market. So those are the signals you want to be watching to spot that exact bottom. And if we are not seeing that right here, then we might see a further drop and then see it further down the road. So that's why I'm pointing that out. But right now I'm favoring the scenario that we are going to see a drop right here in the first week of February, at least in the first days of February, right, the first week of February, and see a reversal right there, or we are going to see a further drop, which also would align with that time. So that time around the 4th of January, I think is going to be a very important date. The level where we are going to go to is still going to be a question mark, right? Whether we have enough with that liquidity or whether we drop below it. That really depends on the signals that we are seeing at that moment. So guys, if you want to be aware of those signals, make sure to subscribe to the channel, because we will be talking about that right here, and we will be trying to catch a nice long position. But okay guys, that was it for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed today's analysis, guys. If so, make sure to scroll below this video, hit the thumbs up button. Let's push this video to as much people as possible. I think it's quite important, and this video might age quite well. Let's see about that, but it is a nice scenario where everybody, or the majority who are watching this channel, can prepare for, right? If you are interested in trading this specific scenario. As you guys know, I'm recommending free exchanges down below this video. If you sign up on one of these exchanges with my affiliate link, you can get an additional bonus. And on Phoenix and Bybit, right now you can get the biggest bonus. On Bybit, it is a $4,100 bonus and a 10% discount on your fees. On Phoenix, it's a $1,200 bonus. And yeah, both of these exchanges, they offer either margin trading, but also on the spot market, so you don't have to trade with margin if you are an inexperienced trader. If you are already profitable on the spot market, you can of course think about starting with margin, but yeah, nevertheless, that is for experienced traders only. But those exchanges you can use for spot trading as well. If you are interested in signing up on one of these platforms, you can find my affiliate links down below. If you want to know how these platforms are working, you can find a lot of tutorials over on my channel. Then guys, I want to wish every single one of you a awesome day today, and I hope to see every single one of you in the next video.